Breaking news, the judge has just issued a ruling.
The way I read this, I think that Baldoni won more than he lost.
Today, he's got more reason to celebrate.
Blake was like, you better make sure that my celebrity friends aren't brought out.
Justin Baldoni won again. Yet strangely, Blake and her team are celebrating as if they achieved an incredible legal victory. It's confusing. Who loses but still acts like they won?
I'm feeling pretty good on the Baldoni side. I think he mostly won. I think on the Lively side, I think that they probably feel like they didn't win. If I was on the Lively side, I'm like, well, we got a few things, but it isn't really what we wanted.
Justin Baldoni won once more. But for some odd reason, Blake and her team are acting like they just accomplished something huge. It's really puzzling. Why would someone lose a case and still throw a celebration?
Is Blake Lively's side trying to use mental health as a reason why they shouldn't air out their private messages?
The judge clearly wasn't convinced by her argument and asked her to explain herself. So what excuse did she give? She claimed she needed protection for her medical records and personal security. Sounds nice, right? But let's be honest. That was never her real intention. What she truly wanted was to keep all the explosive, potentially damaging evidence in this lawsuit completely hidden. When the opposing side pushed back, allegedly of course, she suddenly changed her story. Now it wasn't about hiding everything. It was just about protecting her private medical information. And guess what? The judge granted that request. Breaking news, the judge just issued a ruling. But let's take a moment to ask the obvious question. Why would Justin Baldoni even need to see her medical records? What relevance could they possibly have to this case? The answer, absolutely none. Still, Blake made such a huge deal out of it that when the judge granted the order, she acted like she had won the entire lawsuit. She was probably jumping around, celebrating, texting all her Hollywood friends about her big win. But let's get real. This wasn't a victory. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The evidence she truly wanted to keep secret is still exposed. And if this lawsuit goes to trial, all the hidden details she's been trying to suppress will come out for everyone to see.
Breaking news, the judge has just issued a ruling.
Blake is in serious trouble, but she still believes that her lies and manipulation are completely safe under this attorney's eyes-only protection. Honestly, it's ridiculous. The judge only approved limited protection for 4 specific areas. Not everything she wanted. Yet here she is, acting like she just won a major victory. Reality check. She hasn't won anything. Think about it. Why would medical records be the key piece of evidence in a sexual harassment case? It doesn't add up. She's putting on a big show, but in the end, the truth will come out, and her celebration will mean nothing.
What that means? Everything will come out at trial anyway.
Blake is in deep trouble, yet she still thinks she can hide behind this attorney's eyes-only protection. It's honestly laughable. The judge didn't grant her request to cover everything, only a few specific things. Despite that, she's out here acting like she just pulled off a massive legal victory. Let's be real. She hasn't won anything at all. Seriously, how do medical records play a crucial role in a sexual harassment case? They don't. It makes no sense. She's putting on an act for the public, but in the end, the facts will come out, and her so-called victory will be meaningless.
All documents,
Yeah.
but there's going to be 4 categories of documents that they can use the attorney's eyes only designation.
Yeah, and they can use it unilaterally on these 4 categories.
Blake is in serious trouble, but she still believes she can hide behind this attorney's eyes-only ruling. It's honestly ridiculous. The judge didn't approve everything she wanted, only a few specific things. Yet she's acting like she won a huge legal battle. Let's be honest, she hasn't achieved anything significant. Think about it. How do medical records have any real connection to a sexual harassment case? They don't. It's completely illogical. She's just putting on a performance for the public, hoping to control the narrative. But when the truth finally comes out, all her excitement and celebration will mean absolutely nothing.
That's not to say that this will always be attorney's eyes only. So the parties have the right to go in and say, Your Honor, it's important that the client see this information, and the judge can allow that.
The judge wasn't buying it, and their request was immediately denied. The moment that happened, you can just imagine the chaos in Blake's camp. They probably thought they had this all figured out, but instead, they got a harsh reality check. The judge refused to let them silence Friedman, and the embarrassment must have been unbearable. Picture this. They confidently file for a gag order, thinking they'll silence the other side, only to be shut down themselves. That had to sting. But they didn't stop there. In a desperate attempt to regain control, they tried another move. This time, they wanted to prevent Friedman from posting evidence online. Unfortunately for them, Friedman wasn't about to back down. He quickly reminded the court that it was actually Blake and her team who started making everything public in the first place. They had already been running to major media outlets, including the New York Times, trying to spin the story in their favor. Now, with their plan falling apart, it's clear they underestimated how much control they really had over this situation. No matter how hard they try to cover things up, the truth is still coming out.
Justin Baldoni's camp is claiming a double standard after Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds requested a gag order for his lawyer, Brian Friedman.
If Blake and her team can go public with information, why can't Friedman do the same? The judge agreed, marking yet another major loss for Blake's legal team. You can just imagine her lawyers sitting there, frustrated, flipping through their legal books, probably wondering, what else can we even try now? Then came their next big move, the protection order. This was supposed to be their golden ticket, the perfect strategy to keep crucial evidence hidden and prevent confidential documents from reaching the press. At first, they must have thought they had finally outmaneuvered Friedman. But reality hit hard because, according to TMZ, he actually had no problem with the ruling. In fact, he fully supported the decision to protect Blake's medical records and security details. And why? Because that information isn't relevant to the case. He isn't interested in her personal medical history or private security concerns. What really matters to him are the messages and evidence that completely contradict her claims. Blake's team might have thought they had found a way to control the situation, but the truth is still making its way out. No matter how hard they try, they can't hide what really happened.
I'm blaming the New York Times for participating with Blake Lively's publicists.
And here's the reality. Those pieces of evidence cannot be covered up. The moment Blake or her team attempts to block important information from coming out, it's over for them. There's no escaping the truth, no matter how hard they try. If anyone on her legal team dares to interfere with real evidence, they're risking everything. Any lawyer who goes down that path is putting their entire career in danger. No judge will tolerate that kind of behavior. At the end of the day, the eye sees, facts will be revealed, and trying to hide them will only make things worse.
And told TMZ, we are fully in agreement with the court's decision to provide a narrow scope of protections to categories such as private medical health records and personal security that have never been of interest to us.
Now Blake is stuck. She got her protection order, but the one person she desperately wanted to keep in the dark, Brian Friedman, still has full access. Think about that for a second. So why is she celebrating? Let's be real. This isn't a victory. It's just a way to stall for time. The only thing that's changed is that the public won't see everything unfold in real time. But don't worry, Brian Friedman is still in control. And Blake? She's losing it. She thought she was making smart moves, but all she did was trap herself. And where's her so-called protector, Ryan Reynolds? Completely silent. He's nowhere to be found, because he's not about to ruin his own career for her. And what about her famous friends? They're slowly backing away. Funny how that works. This is exactly why she fought so hard for that protection order. She wasn't trying to protect herself. She was trying to hide private conversations. But no matter how much she tries to keep things secret, the truth always finds a way out. She wanted control, but now everything is slipping right through her fingers.
He can punish people severely. If you, as a lawyer, want to lose your ability to practice law, do that kind of stuff.
Play those kind of games with the federal judge.
With the federal.
In the end, Brian Friedman is the one in charge. Whatever he decides will happen, and there's nothing Blake can do to stop it. He's standing his ground, refusing to back down, while she's struggling to keep herself afloat. She's in serious trouble, trapped in a situation of her own making. Every move she makes only makes things worse. It's like she's walking on a frozen lake, and the ice beneath her feet is starting to crack. The judge made it clear, this protection order isn't a free pass. It's meant to be used carefully, not as a way to hide everything. If she tries to stretch its limits, it could all backfire on her.
And what we're looking at and what's happening and the backlash and everything else, I can't imagine Blake's celebrity friends are happy that it's gotten this.
Judge, however, cautions, mostly her, to use the attorney's eyes only, barring.
If she even tries to misuse this order, consequences are coming her way. Federal courts don't mess around, and if Blake oversteps, she'll be in serious trouble. Given her past actions, things could turn bad fast. So, sit back, grab your snacks, and get ready because this situation is nowhere near finished. And let's be honest, this isn't the kind of attention Blake was hoping for. The real fight is only beginning, and if she truly believes she has won something, she's completely mistaken. Keep watching because this is about to get even more chaotic.